All right, I think we're expecting a couple more people, but I think we're just gonna go ahead and start. So like, thank you so much for everyone for coming here to listen to what Economic Society is all about. We're so excited to share with you like kind of what we have in store for this year and like to get you on board, pretty much to work with all of you guys. So hi, can I go into the next slide, please? Herbert, can I get the next slide, please? Thank you. So this is like a rough schedule of what we're going to be going through. Next slide. And next slide. Okay, so about ECS, I will get to our own introductions a little bit later, but let me just tell you briefly about what the society is about. So you pretty much see it on the screen. It is a student-led society founded in 1961, so we're pretty well established within the NUS community. We are separate to NUSU and FAST Club, so we pretty much, I would like to say we operate under our own rules, but it's like, yeah, and we're formally registered with the Ministry of Home Affairs Singapore. And obviously, you know, this is it's kind of like what we to do for the school, which is holistic growth for our economic undergrad students. We'll show you our vision and mission later on. Next slide, please. So this is it. When we were having our PSAL meeting this year, we kind of focused that the focus that we wanted to keep this year was more on like community building and kind of providing that support for everybody who's doing economics as a major and people that are interested in the subject. And these are our missions. Next slide. So this is our organizational structure. You can take a quick screenshot of this if you'd like, but all of the VPs are going to go into it a bit more in depth when they're doing their presentations. Yeah, next slide. So, okay, we all did silly little introductions of ourselves, and this is mine. So my name is Ayushi. I'm in year 2. I'm studying economics. I stay at Tembusu RC. If anybody happens to be from there, let me know. And I am the president of EconSoc, and this is pretty much everything that I'm into. I'd like to highlight my cat at this point in time. Huge fan of him. Okay, and that's me. All right, next slide, please. All right, I'm gonna hand it off to Joash to tell you guys more about his self. Thank you.
Hey, what's up, everyone? So I'm gonna go through a little bit about events and marketing. Yeah. Okay, next slide. Sorry. Okay, I'm Joash. I'm the VP for events and marketing for this year. So I'm also a year 2 economics major, and I stay on campus in Cambridge Hall. Yeah. So okay, some of my hobbies, I like music, and I play the bass and guitar, and I perform quite a lot, especially as part of my hall CCAs. Yeah, so like we have a couple of gigs recently and quite a few upcoming. And it's a good thing that like physical events are becoming up and coming. So other than like musical performances, even with regards to ECS, a lot of our events this year are also going to be physical. Yeah, because like a lot of the events last year were, I think, mostly online. There weren't any physical events. So that's something to look forward to if you join ECS this year. Or not if, but when you join ECS this year. Right. Okay, so for my personal interests, I love food, I love gym, I love coffee, and I also love fashion. Yeah, basically I came up with these things by referring to my TikTok algorithm. This is basically what shows up on my TikTok. Yeah, okay, so actually regarding fashion, I'm not sure if y'all know what Arts Mode is, but it's something that me and Aishi are heavily involved in recently. Yes, it's like a fashion project thing, and actually our show is this Saturday, so that's a fun fact. Arts Mode 2022. Yeah, okay, then some fun facts, I guess. My most useless skill is being able to fall asleep absolutely anywhere, which is kind of dangerous because like I guess driving gets dangerous sometimes, especially on road trips. Yeah, and my favorite ice cream is sea salt hojicha from Birds of Paradise. I'm not sure if y'all had it, but y'all should really try it. Okay, next. I'll just run through like the brief overview of the organizational structure for events and marketing. So events and marketing is like 2 separate cells. So under events, there's 1 director and 4 executives under the director. So the director is basically like the lead of the entire events cell. Then similarly for marketing, there will be also 1 director as well as 4 executives working under him. So the events and marketing director will work directly under me, and yeah, we work very closely together. Yeah. Okay, next. Going into the event cell. So okay, yeah. The event director is basically the leader of the entire cell, and you work very closely with the other 4 executives lah. All right, so definitely a lot of room for leadership opportunities. So your job is mainly to like advise and guide executives and not just tell them what to do, but also do the work together with them. And you're also like the bridge between the executives as well as myself lah. So you will communicate very closely with your team as well as myself. And like I mentioned, other than leading the team, you're also involved in everything, all the roles listed below. So for example, planning and execution of events. So a big part of it is like allocating manpower, planning for logistics, resources, coming up with event proposals, especially for physical events that are coming up with like schedules, running them through myself, and also coordinating with the other ECSLs. Because for events, not just the 5 of you all will tank everything, it's like you involve the entire ECS committee. So there's a lot of coordinating involved. All right, next slide. Okay, so if you're wondering, like what kind of events we have, there are mainly 4 pillars that we fall back on. So academic, career, social, and welfare. So on the left side is like the more work-related stuff. So academic is, for example, we have like talks and seminars, like stuff outside of the usual lectures and stuff, like fun topics that we discuss. So sometimes you have like external people coming in to hold these seminars also. Then for career talks, we have industry professionals and industry experts coming in to talk to you all. For example, like giving your career advice, career prospects, specifically for economics majors. I think that's something that is very relevant to all of us. Okay, then for social we have stuff like bonding events, not just within the core, but also organize it for the entire economics community in NUS. So for example, I think 2 years ago we had this like digital escape room thing. Last year we had I think we organized a sports meet and something like that. Yeah, but I think this year it'll definitely be a lot more fun and a lot more large scale. You can involve more people, have more physical events, and yeah. And for welfare, it's just like, so every year we have 2 times of welfare pack giveaways, as well as other welfare events. All right, so in terms of events, there'll be 5 events per semester. So 5 in Sem 1 and 5 in Sem 2. So yeah, something to look forward to. Next slide. Okay, yeah, so these are some examples from our events last year. So like I mentioned, a lot of these events are online, unfortunately. For the merch design competition, this was something that we organized last year. So like the winners of these competitions eventually had their shirt designs and their tote bag designs printed and sold as part of merch sales. And also like the top prize was pretty cool. It was like an Apple Watch, which is pretty sick. Yeah. Then for career and academic week, one of the talks we had was Quaternion Economics talk. So we also had like external people coming in to give talks to the econ students, which was something quite interesting and fun also. Yeah. So like I mentioned just now, also welfare pack giveaway. It is something that happens twice a year. Once in Sem 1 and once in Sem 2. So likewise this year we also have the same thing. Okay, next. All right, so that's for events. As for marketing, to summarize what marketing does, basically what y'all are doing is to basically get sponsors. Y'all will come up with like marketing pitches, pitch decks, presentations, basically to sell ECS to sponsors, to like either get cash sponsorships, product sponsored or vouchers even. Yeah, so there's a lot of like communicating and liaising with external parties. So I would say you're very heavily involved in external relations as well. Yeah, so similarly, the director will be the lead for the marketing cell. So you manage all the marketing executives, communicate with me as well as your team. Then the roles involve like coordinating partnerships, fundraising, looking for sponsorships, designing the marketing prospectus. So the marketing prospectus is like the pitch deck, basically. Yeah, it's basically like a bunch of slides that show them what ECS is about, why they should sponsor us, stuff like that. Yeah, so also a lot of liaising with corporate partners. So sometimes it involves like calling them or emailing them and organizing Zoom calls. Yeah. Okay, that's all I have.
Okay, hi everybody. So I'll introduce the operations cell. Basically the operations cell is just the admin staff of the entire CCA. Yeah, so next slide. Okay, just something about myself. I am Melinda. I'm the VP of Operations for this AY, and I'm a year 2 econ student as well. So my hobby is that I like to cook or bake when I have free time. And fun fact is that I binge watch any show that I start on, and I feel like I take longer to choose a show to watch on than to actually finish watching the show. So yeah, so I will move on to introduce the cell in detail. Next slide. Okay, so the responsibilities of the operations cell in general is basically the administrative matters. So we have to ensure the smooth running of all the activities that the different cells plan up. So there will be a lot of liaising involved with all the different directors as well as the VPs of the different cells. We are also in charge of the financial matters. So managing all the financial resources of ECS is also under the operations cell, which is basically the bank account as well as cash that we hold. And we are also in charge of the logistic matters. So procurement and management of logistics for all the events that are taking place will also be under our care. Okay, next slide. Okay, so the roles that are in the operations cell is the general secretary, financial secretary, and then 2 logistics secretary. Okay, next slide. Yeah, so zooming into the responsibilities of each of these secretaries, the GenSec is basically the PDPA officer of the society. So anything to do with NUS sync forms and students' details that we collect for all events, you are basically in charge of it. You will also be responsible for the meeting minutes for the AGM, which is the annual general meeting, as well as any committee meetings that we hold. And you'll be handling all the administrative matters for all different events that are taking place in all of the cells. So basically event forms, venue booking, and any external correspondence will be under your care. Secondly is the financial secretary. You'll be working pretty closely with me to basically devise the annual budget for the CCA, and you'll be producing the annual statement of accounts, manage the budget for all the initiatives. Because as Ayushi said, we are registered under the Ministry of Home Affairs. The financial secretary is also in charge of filing the annual income tax, which is somewhere in April in 2023. And you'll be managing the claims and transactions that happen in the bank account of ECS. And for the logistics secretaries, basically it's about sourcing the logistics that are needed for any initiative. So you will be liaising with all the different P-cell as well as the different directors, and regular stock taking of the club rooms, as well as basically maintaining the storeroom and keeping count of what we have in the logistics. That's about it from me. I'll be open to any questions during the Q&A later if you all have it. So just join the breakout room if you have any questions. Thank you.
Hi, so now I'll be talking more about the publicity and media cell. So in simple terms, how I see publicity and media is the face of ECS. So whatever emails they receive up to till today, or the Instagram posts you see, or the stories, yeah, those are under my department, the publicity and media. So now I'll be talking more about myself. So next, yeah, so simply put, you can see the central theme would be that I love Japan, anime, manga stuff. Yeah, so I mean, if you're interested, you can talk to me about it. So I'm a year 2 econs major, and I'm the VP for publicity and media. So if there's anything, if you're interested in like creative stuff, yeah, feel free, you can join my department. So I'll be talking more about the organizational structure of publicity and media. So simply put, there will be 2 branches. Firstly will be the publicity branch, and then there will be the media. So for each, there will be a director role each, and they will be followed by its own executives. So now I'll be talking more about publicity itself. Next. So for publicity, so we are in charge of the overall image of ECS, how we are viewed to the public. So if you have followed our Instagram already or Telegram, you can see all the creative images that we produce throughout the year. I mean, for those that's here for more than a year lah. You can see all the events that we post. So some of the events we will liaise closely with the E&M department, which is a JOF department. So let's invite sponsorship thank you posts, or for example, like the talks that he was mentioning about. Yeah, so we will create creative content for these to publicize. On top of that, for every week, we'll have engagement sessions with like the student body. So in terms of maybe like weekly quizzes or our initiative like Eco Nutshell, which is basically just bite-sized information for econs posted every week just to engage the student population. So all these engagements will be done on platforms such as Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, yeah, and so on and so forth, but mainly on Instagram and Telegram, right? And if there's anything, we also use the EDMs. EDMs are essentially just emails, right, through the school, your school emails, and we'll publicize all these as and when we need to. Yeah, so that will be the publicity cell. Next for the media cell. So for the media cell, it's also very simple. So the media cell is basically in charge of providing media coverage to whatever events that the other cells need. So for example, one of the major ones that's coming out really soon will be the ECS photo shoot. On top of that, we do have the shirt sales. So whenever we have like the merchandise competitions, and whenever those are done, we'll have our own media cell members to model and post their shirt sales. So other than event coverages that I mentioned before, and finally, this year we'll be focusing on a YouTube channel. That's something new that I'm very excited to work with the media department. So a bit more about this YouTube channel. Basically, one of the videos that I plan to roll out will be a live of ECS student. So I think that will be quite interesting for the new students to see how is life like as an econs major. I mean, especially since COVID is now, winding down already. So yeah, if you're interested in the YouTube channel, yeah, please come over and join the media cell or the pub cell. Yeah.
Thanks, Cedric. Good afternoon to everyone. I'm Herbert, and I'll be bringing you through this particular facet of ECS, the special projects and innovation. Like everyone else, I'll be starting with a self-introduction. So if you look at the slide, you will see a hopefully not too ugly face at Pulau Ubin acting like he likes to exercise, but in reality, I don't exercise. Like, don't get me wrong, I like the view, but no one will find me there anytime soon. My dream country is anywhere that's like has strong working hour protections. But if Singapore does like evolve to help make working after work hours illegal, I don't mind saying Singapore's my favorite country. In my free time, I like to watch people cooking despite being unable to cook in the kitchen, unlike our VP of Ops who in her slide states that she can actually cook. I enjoy watching and rewatching this very old show called Avatar: The Legend of Aang, which either makes me very old or very young. I don't know. In addition, I'm sort of like a workaholic who likes to seek out more work to do, potentially to feel like a deep, dark void in my soul. Okay, I hope this online key will help you all get to better understand and appreciate all of us. So moving on proper, I'm introducing the special projects and innovation departments for the economic society. So these are the roles that we are currently like recruiting for, and these are the two, as in there'll be two project director roles that we are currently recruiting for, as well as the innovation cell, which you can see on the right here in orange. Yes. So the innovation cell includes the innovation director and our 4 innovation executives, while the special projects groups that we are currently recruiting for will include the 16th iteration of the National Economics and Financial Management Challenge, as well as the annual economics camp. If you are year 1, you would probably have just finished the economics camp earlier this year. So what exactly is the innovation cell? I think it serves as a pseudo think tank which plans, executes, and then reviews its new initiatives. Compared to the events committee, we have a greater focus on the use of technology and innovation with a goal to generate like long-lasting and sustainable impacts. So what exactly does that look like, right? So I'll show you some examples of what we've done in the past academic year. So at least for last year, the innovation cell had planned and executed several student-led initiatives. So they include like study buddies, which we facilitated the formation of study groups, and Friender, where we used the digital socializing, where we organized a digital socializing like app in order to help like individuals make friends, right? Because it feels like a very online experience last year. After which we organized the economics career series on our YouTube channel, as mentioned by Cedric earlier, where we covered through the economics career talks by mainly aiming at the public sector, the Big Four, and consultancy. If you are very interested in doing such activities, like and brainstorming new ideas, please feel passionate and join us. Yes. So as a member of this year's cell, what do you think you will experience, right? So you will be able to form ideas, plan concrete proposals, and execute those initiatives. So these include like a planning of timelines, perhaps, or the consideration for logistics. But you will also have to work with other ECS cells naturally. While related experience is then not like a required thing I search for, I do value like creative minds with a willingness to learn and hopefully try new things, coupled with like hopefully some desire for self-improvement. The ability to use technology and media within these roles are preferred, but not exactly required. As the innovation director, the role is more of overseeing as well as working with the innovation team to generate and successfully launch new projects. So in more exact terms, you're the one who's liaising with me with regards to the projects and their developments, although I intend to be involved somewhat. After which, the innovation executives is the other people on the ground who get the opportunity to generate the ideas and plan the projects and execute those initiatives, right? Additionally, we, under like a structure that came out recently, each innovation executive will get an opportunity to hit their own project as an innovation IC within our department, because we hope that everyone gets to forward an idea that they hold dear to themselves, at least within this group. So what exactly are our special projects? We have 3 main special projects, and I'll be introducing them like one by one, right? So these are special projects that were taken on last year. Firstly is the National Economics and Financial Management Challenge, also known as NEFMC. So it's a project aimed at pre-tertiary institutions or junior colleges for students who are interested in economics, right? So we help teach them certain information and challenge them. And the team who joins us for this, we hope is one that enjoys working with and teaching and coming up with materials for guiding junior college students. After which we have our Econs case comp last year, which was aimed towards more the university student type of competition. So it's aimed for varsity students to be able to solve real world problems by considering stakeholders within the economics division. However, this role is not currently being like hired for this phase of the recruitment. It might be released later on, a later period. After which, there's the economics camp, which I hope that a lot of you managed to attend and benefit from earlier this year. There's a very interesting part about our economics camp is that all of our project directors have to be year ones. It's a tradition that we passed from the past because we hope to be able to inculcate some sense of belonging and get all the fresh ideas from the freshmen, right? Like tough jokes. Okay. Yes. So moving on to how exactly we want to process and what type of people we think belong in such roles per se. The role descriptions are mainly that you have to uphold the image of NUS economics, because the project directors for such projects are going to be the individuals that will engage with a lot of foreign people. For instance, they're the ones who entertain ministers when they attend certain events that fall under the purview of the competition. They are also responsible for the thorough planning and execution of these special projects. So at least for last year they were, and I intend to keep it as such. Additionally, because we are recruiting the project directors prior to recruiting the OCOM itself, we intend to allow the project directors to handle all recruitments and overseeing of their own core members. So you will be able to craft your own crew and hopefully guide them and make a very good and fruitful event for yourself as well as for all of the participants. So what then are the qualities we seek for individuals taking up such roles? We value a prior experience in leadership positions. Additionally, we do think that a strong passion and a clear vision for your project would be preferred. So if you are year one who really has an idea of what you think you want next year's orientation to look like, or you have this annoying feeling that you really hated about this year's orientation, we would like people like you to join and come on board with the economics camp next year to help guide us. Additionally, we appreciate self-motivated and independent individuals with planning and project management skills. Yeah. So for this phase, we are only recruiting the respective project directors, and only they will be direct members of ECS. However, at a later period of time, these special projects OCOM roles will be out for application. Other ECS members who join other departments are allowed to apply and go for these roles if they are interested to do so. So what's in it for you? Firstly, we think that this helps develop skills, right? Because organizing an event and planning it and executing it are soft and hard skills that look very useful in your CV and resume, honestly. After which, we hope that through all of this planning and all of these executions, you are able to make friends in the community through working together. I have friends who were from these organizing committees prior who have kept in contact with each other throughout the entire project. So I hope that you two are able to maximize this opportunity in a way that best benefits you. Additionally, more importantly, it's an opportunity to gain rapport with professionals and individuals within academia. A lot of my friends I know have met their thesis advisors through occupying such positions, because you will have to communicate with professors and other students as well as other like external parties. For instance, individuals working in public sectors as well as the government and like private companies, right? So if you are interested in all of these benefits, I hope that you will sign up for our recruitment drive. Thank you. Now I'll hand out my time to Ayushi.
Hi everyone, me again. So thank you so much for sitting through our presentations, and hopefully you gained a bit of perspective about how you could contribute and maybe what you could gain from the various committees we have to offer.